Okay, Coach, thank you. We are technically 5 miles east of Washington, D.C. That's where the home of the Washington Redskins resides, FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Washington Redskins. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go. Set. 60
on play action, Haskins. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where he, their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run with Geis. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Now it's Haskins. Oh, he's got some breathing room. The 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Well, it was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you. Watch the edge. Spawn.
They start on the ground with Geis. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play. They got the ball to the outer third of the field, but they could not seal that edge and lost yardage.
And I love how you brought that up, because sealing the edge is often a function of the offensive tackle on the line of scrimmage, oftentimes a tight end, maybe your H-back, someone to set the edge at the line of scrimmage and give them a spot to get.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it, and he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. And this defense looking like they have come to play. The pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Extra point, hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that'll make the score 14-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken about the 12. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now it's Haskins. He'll have a first down past the 40. He'll get this to his speedster, Paul Richardson. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 49-yard line.
Got it. Check Mike 57. Mike 57. Here we go. Off. Hey, switch gears. Switch gears. He's checking. He's checking. He's checking. Crash.
On 2nd and 12, Haskins. They'll roll him out right. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
But he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. 3rd down, here's Haskins. Open man is Quinn, able to connect. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
First down at the 29-yard line.
Ready. Mike, Pittsburgh. Echo. 57 to Mike.
Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. Looking middle, and that's complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 12-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Shotgun handoff now to Geis. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Come on, boy. You better. Don't be scared of it. Check 24. Check 24. Check safety. Check nickel.
They go play action with Haskins. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
go, son. Mike, 56, right there, 56. Three buzz.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
56. Hey, I'm coming after you.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Darnold. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From just shy of midfield, Darnold is going to fire one deep over the middle, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, batted free. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
All day, baby, all day.
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Haskins to throw it, and this one complete to Reed. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
That's another Washington Redskins first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
45. Mike, 45. Hey.
Off the play fake. Here's Haskins. Complete. Richardson has it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Rip left, rip left.
2nd down, Haskins. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Geronimo Allison, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And they try to sweep to Jones. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Look at this, a tight end carry. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Ready.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Motion, motion. 57's Mike. Mike 57.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Haskins eluding the pressure right. Got a man, that's Quinn. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Bang, 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 bang.
On 1st down, this is Geis. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Hey, let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
Here's Geis. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Haskins on 3rd down. And he finds the tight end, Reed. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
Run you over.
Haskins looking to throw on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
45's the mark. Hey, they're scared. They're scared. 45.
2nd and 10 now. Haskins. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Check me out. 57's the mic. Watch 57. Go. Mike's 57.
Throwing again. Here's Haskins. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. Back deep, Antonio Brown. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
56. Check 56.
So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the 1st half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the 1st half.
We'll see if they do just that. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Going for the deep ball. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. picked off by Troy Apke, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
On the carry, Thompson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back.
On second down, here's Haskins. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. There on the coverage, knocking that one away, was Mike Edwards.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Geis. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. In on the stop, Vernon Hargraves.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Hey, 57. Let's go, D. 61. Match up. 31. Now, play. Smoke. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
To throw on second down. Haskins. That's caught by his tight end, Isaac Nauta. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
Check 99.
On 3rd and short to give to the tight end. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Undercrush.
Now a toss. This is Geis. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
4 down. Get a roll. West. Off.
Now on 2nd and 16. Haskins got a man. That's Allison. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 15-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Hey, turn it up. Slam.
It's Geis on the counter. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 14-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Go. Check 13. Check. Echo. Cross.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Check 45. Henry. You're trash. Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. Here we go. 45's the Mike.
Here's Haskins out of the gun. Open man is Quinn. He completes it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. On the ground, Geis.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2.
I'm going to hit you.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal.
Geis alone in the backfield here, 2nd and goal. So it'll be 2nd and goal when we return. We've played 3 quarters, and that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Geis alone in the backfield here, 2nd and goal.
Time to go, night.
Now Haskins. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 at the 6-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Jones. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Darnold from the gun. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. 20, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. O.J. Howard, his 1st touchdown on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
57's the mic. Watch 57. He can't hang.
2nd and 10. Here's Haskins again. He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 33 yards that time.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Haskins sliding out of the pocket. And now he's going to use his legs. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
From the red zone now, Haskins on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. He'll try and run it. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Let's make these babies cry all the way.
To throw again on 2nd down. Haskins steps away to his left. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
45, 45. Mike, 45. Yeah.
4th down, here's Haskins. Open man is Allison, complete. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Again, it's Haskins. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Haskins back to the air. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, but now it's 3rd and goal.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
This Tampa Bay defense, they held strong on the first 2 plays. Now 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Haskins. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Isaac Nada, his first touchdown on the year. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold. He's got Evans. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 43. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Here's Jones. Give the tackle there to Josh Norman.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch twist. Check 37. Check 37.
They'll go again to Jones. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Montez Sweat able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Here's Bradley Pena now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day.
The Redskins take over first.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here we go.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Give the Redskins 13 there and a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Haskins to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35.
Well, they needed the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, but they're not going to get a shot at either. This is a great play here defensively, Brandon, and at a time that they sorely needed one. And that could be enough to help get them out of here with a victory.
Mike's 56. It's our field.
On first down, it's Jones. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 32-yard line.
Here we go, son. Mike, boys, 56. Check, 56. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Tampa Bay, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Washington, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem
The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock.